I got a question for you guys. So, I think I've mentioned this before, but like getting older, I definitively have like can observe some of my behaviors, and I have found that I have a very much an addictive mindset, and so like part of like some of my bad habits is just from that, and so I've kind of moved some of that to working out, and part of the observation piece is the addictive nature is in my mind, like the just the amount of mind space, like the something to use my mind on throughout the day. So like, for example, when I smoked, like that consumed so much of my mental day. Like, when's my next cigarette? All right, great, I'm smoking a cigarette. How much longer am I going to be smoking this cigarette? Okay, now I'm done with my cigarette. When's my next cigarette? How many cigarettes do I have left in my pack? How many packs do I have left in my carton? So like, it was all day long. And then like, I've kind of seen that when I was drinking more, like kind of the same thing. Okay, what time is it? How many are we going to have tonight? Where are we going to go tonight? Where did we go last week? And so, like, workout is a way better activity.
Addiction?
Yeah, way better addiction. But, like, the thing that I'm now seeing is like, okay, you still got to kind of not become totally addicted and obsessed, because you don't want it infringing on relationships where you're like, I can't do anything with you guys. I got to go work out. I can't step away. I can't take care of this. I got to go work out. So anyway, do you guys have similar like mindset or similar mindsets?
So that's great. That was a great point. Oh.
No, well, I mean, what I can say is, Derek, I think with me, it was part of, as I got older, I started looking at things that I always did.
Yep.
We'll go back to the drinking thing.
Yep.
With my job and the guys that I hung out with, we got off work at midnight. Where are you going to go? We're going to go to a bar.
Yeah.
And that was my life with these guys.
Yep.
But then as I got older, I said, I'm doing the same shit every night. Like, we go to the bar, we drink, we talk about work. And that's when I started saying, like, I can't be doing this anymore, because it's Groundhog's Day. It's like every day the same shit, so I got to change it up with something. So, and again, we'll come back to this. The most obvious thing that we do is the exercise. I don't mind being obsessed with this, because it benefits me, and I could pass it on and talk to my kids about it. And you talk about leaving like something for your kids. Well, you could leave them all the money in the world, but if they're fat, sick, and lazy, well, what good is that going to do?
Yeah.
If you could teach your kids, leave that knowledge to your kids, or to try and instill the importance of being healthy, that's worth everything in the world. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
The bottom line is, as I got older, I just started looking at things, even people that I was around. And again, it's not that, like I said, hey, fuck this guy, he's no good.
Right.
It's like being around these people isn't helping me get better.
Yep, I hear you.
You know what I mean? Again,
Yes.
it's just, I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over with the same people. And I said, I got to change. You got to change things up a little bit.
Yep. Yeah.
Whether if it's what you do, the people that you're around, and I'd much rather now sit in the park and like listen to a podcast for an hour by myself, rather than sit in a bar with 10 people, so-called friends of mine,
Right.
Drinking beer and then going home and passing out. It's just a total waste of time. So yeah, you got to pick out the things that you got to decide, like, what's really benefiting me, what's helping me get better, or what's helping me, progress. And if it's not, you have to weed that shit out and find things that you can be obsessed with. Again, like you got a nice setup there in your garage.
Yeah.
And it's not that if somebody was to say, hey, Derek, I need your help with something, you're not going to say, no, I can't, I got to do my pull-ups.
Right.
You can do that. But I'm just talking like day-to-day life. Like, you do what you do, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
People say to me, like, oh, you're fucking obsessed with this. Okay, then I'm obsessed. They call me obsessed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for years of my life, I was obsessed with going out all the time and getting drunk and not doing what I was supposed to do and neglecting my responsibilities. That was an obsession too.
Yeah.
To me, this is a much better obsession, and I could live with this. So,
Yeah.
all right, I won't take up any more of your time.
No, that was good, man. I appreciate that. Definitely.
I think what Derek's point was, that was great, very well spoken, Benny. I think Derek's point was, do we get so obsessed that it removes us from the rest of life?
Right.
Like, are we unavailable for life because we're so focused on this?
No, that was the kind of the last point I was trying to make. Like, no, you do have to draw that line too, where it's not taking you away from everything.
Yeah.
But if it's taking you away from the wrong things, it's perfectly fine.
That's a net
But
positive.
you have to draw that line and say, all right. Again, like if somebody would have called Derek up and say, hey, Derek, I need A, B, and C. Can you help me out? And if he was to turn around and say, no, I'm sorry, today's Navy SEAL Day, I can't make it. That's not good. Again, that's not something you'll ever hear me say.
Well, in all.
On the flip side, Derek does his Friday night at the bar, there in his garage, and if somebody calls him up and says, hey, Derek, we're going out to the real bar tonight. We're gonna have some drinks. We're gonna do this. And he says, nah, I think I'm gonna pass. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
At all. And I had this conversation with Aldo. I think when we were talking yesterday, I mentioned I have a lot of the guys that I work with, and they periodically get together, but all it is a drink fest. They get together and they just sit and drink, and then they're going to talk about shit that we did 30 years ago.
Right.
And again, it's not that I don't like them. They were my friends for years, but I don't want to do that anymore. I did it for years. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I moved on from that.
For me, the way I'm thinking is even if I have the time at that moment, it's going to negatively impact my morning after.
Right.
So I might be free right now, but not for that. Because tomorrow, when everybody's sleeping in, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm up and I'm at
Exactly. Right. That's it. That's the point.
Better recovery.
That's it.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, well, first, Derek, thank you so much for sharing that with us, man. That's thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? I believe addiction is a trait, right?
Yeah.
But to be able to control it and guide it somewhere, because addiction can take you to good places too. If you're addicted to the right things, right? You can be addicted to being with your family and have different addictions, right? I'm addicted to working out and also, trying to be the best father that I can be, a better husband. Just, again, addicted to that, man. I think addiction can be a trait, man. But like now, I think once you start growing up and you realize these things, and you get the strength to actually guide this, man, I think it's a powerful tool too.
That's a good point.
I think we all have that in common here. I might not be as addicted, man, because I have this gift that I believe I have. And when I know something is being bad in my life, like I see things are going down, I'm getting in trouble, then I'm able to let it go. But I have the obsession I do have. When I get obsessed about things, like I gotta get that. I gotta push and get there where I present my goal to. So I believe, man, addiction can be a powerful tool.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Aldo. We all do have some degree of that in us. But like you said, and one of the points I was trying to make earlier too is that, like you said, if I see something that's no good for me, I cut it off, right? I get away from it. But with me, when I was younger, there was a lot of times I knew things weren't good for me, but I kept doing it anyway.
Yeah, same here.
As I got older, when I started to say, what am I doing? I gotta give this up. I gotta change things. I gotta change the scenery a little bit. And you know, like I said, to have that as a young guy,
That's huge.
that's a great, you know, that's a great trait to have in yourself, to be able to do that early on in life.
Yeah.
Before it gets way too far. You know what I'm saying? Because then, you know, when you learn, at some point it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're still a young man, and if you see those things in your life and you start cutting them out, then that's a great trait to have. That's good.
Yeah, man. That's the only talent I have.
Yeah.
That's the only talent I have, man. That's it.
Hey, I don't. That's not true. That's not true. But even if it was true, that would
That's
be a
a
great
skill,
talent.
bro. That's a skill.
Yeah. We all know that's not true, Aldo.
Yeah. No, you're right, Derek. That's definitely not true. But even if it was, that would be a really great skill to have. That would
Mhm.
take you far, that one skill.
Yeah, man.
No doubt.
He saved me a bunch. He saved me a bunch. Hey, that's my little boy, man. Shout out to Roman, man. He in the chat.
Good morning, Roman.
Thank you, my boy. I love
Salute,
you.
Roman. Salute, Roman. That we don't like to change. We don't like to change. We don't like to be uncomfortable, right? Anything that's going to put us off of our schedule or the things we normally do,
Right.
and that's what exercise does. You know what I mean? Working out. Well, I don't normally do that. It doesn't feel good. I get sore from it. And
Yeah.
people don't want to change. They don't want to do it. So it's hard to get them going. But, you know, I think once you do get going, I think it's definitely changed your life.
Agreed.
Without a doubt.
I work out to keep myself from doing bad habits too. So
Yeah, exactly.
I need a couple hours.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got a lot of habits to cover for.
Hey, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey,
We were
100%.
talking about that the other day too. Like when Aldo was asking me about the recovery too. It's like sometimes I work out just for the time.
Yes.
You know, the occupying of time. I need that
Yeah.
time occupied in this manner. You know,
Yeah.
like you know, you take a dog out to run in the park, and then he comes home and he doesn't piss in your living room. That's me. I gotta go run around the park, or else I'm gonna piss in the living room. Yeah.
Get my heart pumping.
I know, right? Boy, those squats.
I love that feeling. I love that feeling, man. Ooh. You know, it sounds cliche, but it makes me feel alive.
Yeah. I'd much rather be doing this than sitting home like nursing a hangover.
Oh, yeah.
That's for damn sure.
The only show on the internet, man, where you touch it and get fit. What are you doing with the hangover? You should be working out. Man, that feels good.
So I had a confessional time. I'm doing, just to test myself, no drinking this month, but last night we went to some friends and I had a beer. But I was on 3 days until last night. Yeah, just one. So,
Is that what you normally do, Derek? Just have a beer at night?
yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's rare that I miss a day, but I only have one. Which, you know, that's what we used to say when we'd go to the bar. Let's go have one. I never had just one then, but now I literally have one every night. So I want to just take this month and test myself. See, basically I'm seeing if see if it makes any difference. If that one beer is having an impact on recovery, how I feel. Like one beer I don't wake up feeling like crap. So
Yeah, I don't think that, Derek, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I don't think that one beer is going to hurt you.
I don't either,
So
but
if it turns into like 6, 7, 8 a night, then that's where you got the problem. You know?
I can tell even the difference between 1 and 2. Like if I have 2, I could feel that the next day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just why not take a month and
That's because you conditioned yourself for one.
yeah. No, it's true. So we'll see.
Why not?
Right.
I know if you drink one glass of wine every single day, it boosts your metabolism and it burns fat. But once you have more than that one, now all it's doing is hurting you.
Yeah.
I wonder what would be
You broke up at the end.
Yeah, it broke.
Say the end.
What is it really? Carbohydrates?
Yep.
Yeah. A beer is just pure carb. Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
250 calories of pure carb.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, I was a beer drinker my whole life. What's that?
I'm kind of going with the story.
What'd you say,
I
Vinny?
was going to say, like, when I was a beer drinker, and it's funny, like Aldo said, you do the first set when we started, the second set gets easier. And I remember when I used to go drinking,
Yeah.
I'd get to the bar, and those first, like, maybe 2 beers, they'd go down like razor blades.
Yep.
But then after that, they'd be smooth, and then it was game on. I could just keep going, like, you know what I mean? They tasted good and stuff. But it was those like first 1 or 2, it was like, I don't know, they didn't go down easy. But by the third one, it was like drinking milk, like they were just pouring down. No problem,
See, I got the opposite. Like the first one is.
I don't miss it. I certainly don't miss it. Like I said, I'd much rather be here with you guys doing this.
Yeah.
As much as I hate Navy SEALs, I hate hangovers even more. So.
Great point. Great point.
Trust me, I've had my share of hangovers. So.
I don't know. It's just I think also a good little test of like my own will. Like I'm pretty programmed. Like that's my reward after I work out in the evening. That having that beer, that's like built into my programming now. So like
Right.
I finish now and I'm like, get past there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
Hey, let me put my 2 cents right here, Derek.
let's hear.
You are a very disciplined man, and I think you should do this so you can know that you got that. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly,
I mean,
man.
this type of things, I believe I'm a big believer in this, man. This type of things in our lives are massive growth, man. Because if you put that on yourself, right? Okay, I'm gonna take this break. I encourage you
I hear
to
you.
go about it, man. Because you passing that, then you can have your beer, then you're gonna know in your back, man. I'm in control of whatever I do and who I am. I think that in a person, it's massive, man. Like we do these workouts, we're doing that right there. You know?
Totally agree, man.
I encourage you. I encourage you to do it and to, win it, and then you're gonna be like, man, it's a good feeling, It's growth.